I think he'll be all right.
Second, when you always talk about how Gustaf Forsling's the fittest man on the team, how impressive was what he did there in the second period, chasing down Nylander to disrupt that breakaway?
Yeah, I mean, he's such a powerful skater. And he's earned a big tank on him. He can handle big minutes and also a pretty impressive burst when he needs to. But he earns that. He works so hard. Yeah, each year he comes back a more and more fit man, which would be easy for George and I to do that each year, but for a guy at his level, and I included myself, like we're brothers on this, but for a guy at the peak level, for him to come in as a more fit man each year, it's so incredible.
Paul,
sorry, George.
For tonight's game, it looked like more so than any other wins in the series, you guys played your brand of hockey for the majority of the game. What would you attribute the switch to that you guys were able to do your thing tonight more than the other games?
I'm not a momentum believer at all. We had a few good shifts, I think, early. We didn't get scored on in the first 35 seconds. That was a nice change for us. But we're mindful that it's one game. I don't believe in momentum. I don't believe in trends. Puck will drop the next game, and we'll have to fight hard to get back to what I thought was a pretty well-played game by our team.
Paul, another injury thing. Evan Rodriguez, any update on him?
No, he's going to need evaluation tomorrow to understand.
Okay. And then Carter Verhaeghe, we've talked a lot about during the regular season having a lot of chances, things not going in. Last game helped set up the Marchand game winner, and then today gets you guys the first goal in the power play. Just to see him looking like himself, like he usually does in the playoffs.
I would say through 9 games, Carter has been our most consistent forward, and playoff hockey is hockey. He understands. It resonates with him. It's played at an incredibly high pace. It's very physical, and that's where he is at his best. Everything kind of falls in line for him. All his reads are right. All his physicality is right. He's plays a very hard, very fast game, and he needs the game sometimes to be hard and fast for him to excel. I think he's been our most consistent player through 9 up front.
Paul, obviously, defense looked great tonight. Only allowed, I think, 22 shots. Just what was working for them on that side of the ice?
I thought our gaps were good. I thought our forwards did some really fine work allowing that to happen. Such a dynamic team Toronto is, that if you don't do enough work from the goal line to your red line, you're going to be you put the defense in a very, very difficult position. So I thought our forwards allowed the D to play well, and the D did.
Do you feel like you talked today that you're trying to get back to your team style? Did you feel like tonight? But did you guys seem to really? Toronto couldn't get anything going. You guys were pushing them back.
My seat's different than yours. They are dynamic and they are dangerous at all points. It's very similar to the feel of Tampa Bay. So I didn't feel that it. I never ever look at the shot clock. That tells me nothing in the game. I like the way we played, and that would be about the extent of it.
I mean, you've flipped Carter Verhaeghe onto that second line at times to get it going, and I mean, this year it seems like it's hitting a different level, especially with Carter having more hits through 8 games than he had last year in 20. I mean, what have you seen from that line as a whole since Carter got put down there?
Okay, well, Carter was very good with Barkov and Reinhart for sure. I think that Matthew is back to his full game, and that was part of it, right? Like, if you follow the flow chart of line changes, I think I played Matthew 12 minutes in his first game of the Tampa series, and he's just kind of gotten. Now Bennett and Tkachuk were actually the pair, and there are times when but they need to be at full tilt. For Carter, again, Carter needs a certain pace to play well, and he needs a certain intensity to play well, and I think Matthew's back. So Sam Bennett's been very consistent, but there's almost, in some ways, there's not an advantage to having Carter play with Sam and Matthew when Matthew was just still trying to find his game. He was off for so very, very long. He couldn't do a lot of training. I feel that Matthew's back to his game again now, and that allows Carter to go there and that make them a strong line force.
You've spoken so many times about your trust in Sergei and knowing that he's going to do what he needs to do to be ready at all times. When do you think that permeates the players in front of him too, when they have that belief and what it means to them knowing that their goalie is always unflappable?
I think we just totally take him for granted, which is what happens to all elite goaltenders. I mean, I can speak for myself. If he has a game that you don't think it's Sergei Bobrovsky-like, I spend no time wondering if the next one's going to be like that. And if he had two, he's his own little leadership committee there. He just goes in and gives us so many consistent looks that look like tonight. I don't spend any time thinking about goaltending, thank God. I'll just screw it up.
What did you think of the Domi hit?
I think that the league looks at those things very closely, especially at that point in the game, and that's their job.
Paul, what do you like about how your power play handled the sequence in the first period? I'm sure the pressure is growing as you get some chances there.
I'm going to get my games confused, but our first power play, I think in game 3, might have been game 2, was really, really good and didn't score. And that was kind of the message to them there, right? Like, those guys are all your most skilled players. They feel the weight of it when it's not going. Well, they handle it right on the bench. I mean, that you can tell when they come back to the bench where they're at, right? It's frustrating for them. I didn't feel they got frustrated with it. Some things didn't happen, but there was no frustration there. So it gave itself the opportunity to score a goal because it didn't allow the frustrations of not scoring come into the game. So at that point, by the end of the first, it was running at 25%. Which would be fairly close to the power plays we've had in the first 3 games combined, so good on them.
Thank you. Thanks,
Okay.
everyone. Have a great night. Thank you.
Sorry, George.